How to create desire for a product. Now, this is such an interesting concept because I would say go pre-sell it, solve a problem that's out there, be the solution, you're going to make money. But let's break down, how do you actually create the product? So we're going to go through benefits versus features. What are the misconceptions and objections that you're going to have to learn to handle and have that just built into the packaging, ideally? What's the overall marketing strategy? And last, how are you going to connect your product to the problem that's designed to solve? So first of all, I just want to say, before you create anything, do a focus group. So you have an idea, you want to make sure that people want it. So the way that I have those conversations is, my name's Loral, I'm a money expert. How could I help you with money? Or if I want to be specific about a product that I'm developing, I'm thinking about doing a generational wealth product. I did this 3 years ago and got some feedback. I was like, yes, 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 I want the legacy product. I want to understand generational wealth. So we created the product, but I didn't create it until I knew that there was a desire for it. So that's just my overall principle. It's been that way. It's my kind of funny theme. I say I don't move without money, because unless somebody's going to buy it, why create it? I don't know how many people have gone broke creating a product or a service no one's asked for. You create it in your own little vacuum. You spend all this money getting it ready to launch, and it just lays flat. Build it, I guarantee they won't come. So when you build and you know what you're actually going to build because there's a market for it, focus on the benefits, not the features. The feature is, it's this size, it does this, it does this, it does this. What the benefits are, how are the benefits going to be for the problem? It's going to help with back pain. It's going to help with headaches. Like, what's the problem it's solving? So focus more on the benefits than the features. You're going to win big. So overcoming misconceptions is a lot of people just looking at a market, and it's so prevalent since 2020 and COVID, because when the world shut down, where did everybody go? To the internet. I call it the bathroom wall, because everybody's now an expert and they post all sorts of interesting stuff. So you have to outperform those misconceptions. So if you say, I have this thing that's going to reduce pain, or I have this thing that's going to create a millionaire, whatever it's going to be. First of all, I look for some evidence. Have they ever done this before? Whoever's creating the product. And you have to know they're going to have misconceptions immediately. Oh, I've tried that before. You're going to get so tired of hearing, I've tried that before, it doesn't work. How many people call and say, oh, I've had a coach, it doesn't work. I've had this, it doesn't work. So those are the misconceptions because they don't know. So you have to come creatively to the market and more emotionally to solve their problem. What is their pain? The best way we know to do that, we do a lot of surveys and polls. You can do those through all sorts of different channels. So we do surveys, we do polls. What do you want? How do you want it? What problem can we help you solve? And then we use their words in the marketing. So a lot of how you bring a desired product to market is going to be in the copy. It's going to be in the language that you speak of it. You're going to handle objections when you know it comes in. Like when people say, I can't afford something, I say, you can afford anything. You just have to make the money to have it. So you have to pre-think this. That's, again, back to the focus group and a pre-sale, knowing that people want what you have and help them define it. Another example would be my Yes Energy book. You wanted to be a Hay House author. And they said, well, you can't write about money, and that's what I am. And we brainstormed for a while, and he said, talk about that, say yes, and figure out how, because you do have to have yes energy to become a millionaire. So got a bunch of pre-sales, people interested, and we created a formula of how to stay in yes energy in your lifetime. And what was interesting, when we got to the focus group and I sent out some of the chapters, they're like, that's not what we were talking about. So the people gave me feedback on what they wanted more of. So I atrophied and deleted a bunch, added a bunch, became not only a United States, Canada, Australia bestseller, all over Asia was a bestseller. It was a massive bestseller because I gave people what they wanted. Now, before I go to the last point and a few more points on how to get a product to market successfully, I want you to subscribe to my channel. Click the notification button. Be here 5 days a week. We're going on our 4th year of doing YouTube every day. And we have extraordinary topics. If we don't have a topic that you can't find in our search bar, put it in the comments section. We'll be right back out here to help you out. The last thing I want to talk about, again, is more in that emotional, how do you market the copy? You want to connect to their dreams. So they have a problem, you want to connect to the result. If you think about infomercials, right? P90X, what's the South Beach diet, I think is one of the biggest successes. Why? Because they show the bodies of the people, of what people have said they desire. And it doesn't mean just lean ones. It shows the results. It shows this is why before and after pictures. So you're connecting to the possibility that this actually can work for them. And that goes to the misconceptions. It goes through their doubt. And you've got to do a lot of what I call testing the sale. So for X dollars, you can get this, but for X dollars, but payment plans, you get this. If you do it here, you can get some gifts. So that actually, although a lot of you will say, oh, I don't want to be this person, I can't be that infomercial. It's what sells. It's the number one way of selling in the world. So watch the infomercials instead of shut them off. From a perspective of, it's actually a homework I give to all my students, is watch it from the standpoint of the structure, the context of the show. It's 30 minutes. How often do they ask for the sale? How often do they show you the dream? How often do they tell you the result? How often do they tell you that the problem you're going to have if you don't do it? It is the way that most sales have ever been made in the world. So you're going to have to get those muscles, I call them sales muscles, and get the tension out. If it's really good, you want to serve people, you want them to buy. So give an offer and let them buy. If you want any help with this, you can always go to Ask Loral, AskLoral, ask a question, make a request. We'll be back here tomorrow with more education.